You hungry? Don't get out here so much you hungry. Act like I'm gonna feed you. I'm waiting till some people. Wait till people start going. Wanna sit with mommy?
Sit, mommy. Mommy.
You sitting with mommy?
Mommy.
More to some more people.
Mommy.
Hi, everybody. You want to say hi?
Hey,
Come on.
hello, everybody. Hello, hello, everybody.
Tyler said hello.
Hello.
What is that on you? Okay.
Hello, everybody.
You just want to be in my camera. Okay. If y'all can hear me, let me know. This one is going to give me echoes. What time is it? I'm late. I'm sorry. 7. It'll be 9:10 Central Time. So at 9:10, I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
Hello, hello. Hello.
Say hey, Titi.
Hey. Hey, Titi.
Leave my pen alone, son. Make sure you guys like, share, comment.
La la la.
Like, share, comment. What time is it now? 2 more minutes and I'm gonna go ahead and start. Just for the people who want to come back and watch. Yeah, Titi said give her a song. Tyler. He be reading stuff. I know we reading another video. Stuff. Yeah, Titi said give her some chips. You gonna give Titi a chip? Okay, 1 more minute and I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
Hello, hello, everybody.
You got stuff all on you. Candy.
Everybody.
You done ate my brother candy.
La la la.
So I love you, Titi. Wanna sit back up here? He trying to read y'all comments. They see you, Tyler. Big boy. Okay. So it is 10:10. Hello, everyone. I'm Janice. This is Tyler.
This is Mommy.
I'm Mommy. This is Tyler.
I'm Mommy. I'm Tyler. This is Mommy.
Yes, big boy. High five. Okay. So I wanted to. This is April. So April is all about autism awareness. I want to give you guys an overview of my experience, how I found out, the signs and everything else regarding Tyler having autism, how I dealt with everything, my emotions and everything else. So I had I'm gonna start with my pregnancy. My pregnancy was good, full term birth. These are the questions that the doctor usually would ask me. Um, Full term birth, no problems at all. Everything was fine. Um, my first child, of course, when Tyler was born, um, he didn't have any problems. We went home, nothing was wrong. They weren't able to tell me then that he had autism because they only test for certain things like the hearing and everything else. Those things are not tested at that exact moment. Fast forwarding to when Tyler turned about 6 months is when my mom was the one that actually noticed that Tyler was not responding to his name and he was not making eye contact. Me being the stubborn person that I am, I never wanted. Don't nobody want nothing to be wrong with their child. Let's just start there. You always want your children and your loved ones to be just completely perfect, and that's how I was. I didn't want to hear nothing negative or what I perceived to be negative in my thought process at the time. Just hearing someone say, something may be wrong with your son was very just, it was breaking my heart on the inside, and I didn't want to accept nothing, like nothing being was considered wrong or anything else like that. I didn't want to hear it, anything else. But I also didn't want to be the woulda, shoulda, coulda parent. So, with the things that my mother actually stated to me, she was like, he's not making direct eye contact, which at the time at 6 months, he wasn't. He wasn't making the normal sounds of, a 6 month old and things like that. Even up to one, he wasn't talking. There were a few teachers at the daycares that was telling me that he was playing around the children, but he would not play with the children. And everyone was like, hey, just go and get him tested. And like I said, I didn't want to be the woulda, shoulda, coulda parent, so I took the initiative to go ahead and tell his pediatrician that I have some concerns. When I spoke with his pediatrician and told them that I had some concerns, she ended up linking me with Tennessee Early Intervention. Early Intervention is who... You okay? Come on. Early Intervention is who... right, he does. He does play with children now. Early intervention is like, we're not done yet, baby. You finna go? You finna go watch TV? But early intervention services is where they get the help that they he ain't going nowhere. Get the help that they need, whether it's ABA therapy, speech therapy, OT, and everything else. So at that age, it ended up being that he does have autism at that moment, and it was hard for me. I cried many nights. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know much about autism. I promised myself, I made a promise to myself at that moment when I found out, even when I had assumptions and just was assuming and people were telling me, I made a promise to myself that I would do everything that I can to make sure that he reaches his full potential, no matter what it is. So, that made life just a tad bit harder, but do I regret anything? And no, I don't. I don't regret quitting jobs. I don't regret just going through the motions that I went through, because he needed me at that time, and he still needs me. He will always need me. I'm thankful for my mother and for the therapists and everything else that were around, because they were telling me, and what has been proven to be fact, that the sooner that you get services, the better. The outcome will be of children get it. Is it good, baby? Having a what they call normal. I really now that I've gotten and experienced the things that I've experienced in life, it's like saying the word normal is kind of weird to me because who determines what is actually normal, you know? Um, but yeah, he was diagnosed, and I went through a lot. Like I went through a whole lot, and I did. I was depressed and I was sad and everything else, but I made sure I pushed through everything and didn't like give up, like of trying to help my son, even though I was going through what I was going through. You know, mentally, physically, financially, I didn't give up. Putting in that work for my baby because at the end of the day, I did have him, and I wanted to make sure that he got everything that he needed. Later on, Tyler, he does have sensory issues also. If y'all have any questions, make sure y'all let me know. He does have sensory issues also. At first, Tyler, he used to eat a lot more than he does now. Um, he used to eat everything at first when he was smaller. Then it started getting, he didn't want certain things that looked a certain way, smelled a certain way, everything. What is it? Thank you. He gonna pull him. Tyler is 4 now. Tyler is 4 now. When he was feet. I don't know what he's doing. He is 4 now. He will be 5 May 30th. This live is really to inform you guys truly about autism, the signs of autism, and what is necessary for you to do. I just don't want nobody to give up on their children, and because all of the sacrifices that I made, number one, first of all, they were well worth it. 7 little, 8 little, 9 little what? So, yeah, and even in like public places and everything else, people, they look at me funny. He does things like this, and he's usually loud all the time, which of course, I'm used to it. Me and his mom, I'm used to it. My family, they're used to it. But out in public, I have had some experiences, y'all, for real. I have had some terrible experiences, even with the school system, even with people out in public, because they don't know. They look at my son and just like, okay, nothing's wrong with him, and they'll start to judge my parenting and everything else like that. Like if you see a child and you think that they're acting out, and most of the time they're not acting out. It may be something, that the child has issues with. They may be sleepy, different things like that. So at one point I was, it made me feel some type of way when I go out with my son, and people, they'll be so judgmental. I remember one time I went to Logan's to actually pick up my food, and I had on the child the child harness, the little restraint, so they won't run off. Now I know it was a post that was similar to that the lady, she had like 3 different little kids, and she was walking across the street, and they all had them on. Which nowadays, when we don't have people to just stop their lives and just help us, you have to do what you have to do to make your life work for you, and that's why I've never been the judgmental type. But the lady at the Logans, I had him on a harness. I had been tired. He was overly tired, and he was just running around. He didn't want to be still and everything else. So the safest way was for me to actually put the child harness on his arm. He also has one that goes around his chest, which I'm not embarrassed to use them or anything else like that, because that's what works for me and him. If he's uncomfortable or anything, he knows how to let me know. A lot of kids aren't, fortunate enough to be able to. Stop, babe. Don't touch that, okay? Turn it back on.
No.
Please. Turn it back on. Thank you. High five. Good job. A lot of people, everybody can't communicate. He about to pull my wig off. Can't communicate, and he is still considered. He can say some things, but he is still considered nonverbal, and that also can be hard. Trusting people to watch your kids and stuff. He had an incident at the school, but back to this Logan's incident. The lady she was sitting at the bar with, which were they were teachers, y'all. They were teachers, teachers and coaches, which is still considered teachers. And the lady, she was drinking her wine, and she actually stated, she was like, she got him on a dog leash, one of them dog leashes. And I just looked. I'm like, a leash? No, he's not on a leash. I try my best to refrain from being so ignorant, because ignorance does not go well with ignorance. I know that she doesn't know, but sometimes you have to be cautious of other people's feelings. And by me just being super defensive, knowing that she doesn't know, it would have just ended up in a terrible situation. But I did speak my mind, and I spoke, with a little frustration, because she was just being so judgmental. She didn't know what issues my son has, or why he had it on, or what it's actually called. She didn't even know the actual name of it. So that was a major problem. And when we go out and he's doing literally what he's doing now, I don't stop him, because I'll let him know what type of place we are in, and try my best to, facilitate the environment around him, because he's not doing anything but expressing himself. And a lot of people don't understand that. Autism is very misunderstood, and because it's a spectrum. It's a wide range of spectrum. Just because you've met one autistic person does not mean that you've met every one of them. Because my son's case, and I also have a nephew who's on the spectrum as well. I also have a nephew who's on the spectrum as well. And him and my son, they're alike, but they're different in so many ways. They're so smart. Oh my God. Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
And we have this thing that we do also. Say it loud.
Say it loud.
Autism proud.
Say
we also do that.
Loud.
Autism proud.
Say loud.
Autism proud.
I say it loud.
Say it loud. Y'all, there's stuff on your face. Say hey.
Hey.
But also I'm never embarrassed by my son, ever. Never am I embarrassed by him. But society makes it hard to live a life without judgment. And I want everybody to know, never be embarrassed of nothing that's wrong with your child. Whatever you have to do to make sure that your child is well taken care of, and that they are comfortable, and that you're comfortable in the environment with taking care of him or them, because I got a son, I'm sorry y'all, but taking care of your children. Don't let the world dictate what you're going through, because they will, and it will make it even harder to just be comfortable in just raising. It don't come with a manual book. It does not. It does not say, hey, this is right, this is wrong, but the world will try to pinpoint different things and make things wrong. My son has we went to Branson, Missouri. I'm quite sure a few of you guys who are friends with me actually seen. He ended up, I don't know if I told y'all this or not, but God, that was Jesus, it's hard for me to even talk about, but he actually ended up, we were in the Airbnb, and he actually ended up getting out of the Airbnb, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 4 adults and 2 children, which was one of my other nephews there, which was like a super baby at the time, so he was like a hand baby. Tyler runs, and he runs fast, and if you guys seen, he was flash last year for He was flashed last year for Halloween, and he was flashed for a reason because baby, he can run fast. So he ended up getting out of the Airbnb, and I could not find my son. That was the worst feeling ever. Now, had it, my brother, Renardo, ended up getting in the car and finding him all the way at the end of the resort that we were at. It was so much water around the resort, right? The only thing that I could imagine, and it was the worst. You know, when you let your mind get the best of you, you always imagine the worst possible things happening, and I just thank God that our outcome was different. That week later, my mom ended up finding an article about a child in Texas that ended up drowning, and they had autism. And a lot of people, when I was reading the article and just going back and forth, I seen a lot of people blame the parents and different things like that. We don't know what happened. We were not there. I just know from my personal experience with my son that children do get out. Not just autistic children, not just disabled children, but children in general. They do get out. And that's all about just taking it's not a blame game. And that's what society has made so normal, to just blame people for this, that, and the third. Okay, I'm going to blame you because you didn't know this, you didn't know that. Technology has gotten so much better now that we're able to prevent a lot of things now from happening. A lot of people don't know about the different resources and everything else that are in place. It took me some time to find the resources for my son. And this is not even my first time being around someone with autism. Don't do that, baby. Okay? Okay? Guess what?
Yes, what?
Guess what? Yes, ma'am.
Me.
Don't do that. No, don't do that.
Me.
But yeah, just everything is different now, and the more we educate one another and each other, the better that everything will be. This is not a judgment place.
No.
This is a place where we educate each other and we help one another through life. Like, there's no reason that everybody should be walking around not knowing what to do. We stressing and everything else because it's like we ain't got nobody. And I was also in that same place where I felt like I had nobody. I got my mama, them, and everybody else, but I'm the type of person, I'm so independent, and it can be overwhelming sometimes to try to maintain the independence and maintain a successful life, and just suffer in the dark, really. Y'all see him, baby, Spider-Man. Spider-Man, get down. Get down. Tyler, get down.
What's this?
What's this? Okay, get down. Okay, come on. I don't want you to hurt yourself. Oh, God. And he heavy, too. He heavy. But, okay, get on there. But, there are plenty of resources. The help is out there. And Tyler's Way, I also want y'all to know, that Tyler's Way is going to be something, I'm not going to tell too much, but it's going to be definitely something that will be in place for not only single parents, but everybody in general. It's time for us to get the community back to how it used to be. Even though grandma don't want to watch them kids so you can go out there and make that money so you can have a decent living, we need community efforts. We need everything set into place, because this journey has felt like I am alone. I know I'm not, though. It's just technically like a mind thing, and just if you know better, you do better. And by a lot of people around me not knowing, even at my jobs and stuff, they were like, your son is not an excuse for this, that, and the third, and blase, blase, which I don't use my son as an excuse, but nobody's going to come before my son. These resources will use and have the therapies that are needed for disabled children. children that's on the spectrum, like ABA, OT, um, and I also want to implement and include things such as sports for the kids, for the special need kids, because out here in Tennessee, we don't have a lot of it, and a lot of people don't have patience for it. So that's something that I want to also get together. So if y'all know somebody, tell somebody that I'm trying to put that together also. Um, the child care and everything else for children, I prefer it to be 24/7 because these jobs, they are different hours, and we do need to make a decent living to be able to. Everything literally goes. It comes together. Like, okay, you need food. You need food to be able to live. You need your lights and stuff to be on. Also, what do you do to my stuff? Like, I can't see it. Okay. You need everything to be able to live. You need money to live, and they're just making it harder when you have children and you don't trust everybody. Well, me personally, I know for a fact I don't trust a lot of people with my son because he's not able to tell me, hey, this person did that or this person is doing this. The incident at his school, I done reached out to news stations. No, right on the paper. I done reached out to news stations and so many other people, the police and everything else, because Tyler was physically abused at the school, and I ended up having to quit my job. I was having anxiety attacks. I was working at the hospital. I was having anxiety attacks and everything else where I couldn't. Hold up 1 second. Okay. So, I ended up suffering from anxiety attacks. I ain't never had anxiety attacks a day in my life, and I'm 28 now. But at that moment, I didn't know what to do. I was stuck. I just knew that I needed help. I needed help because I don't even like. The thing was, the lady ended up calling Tyler's name. He did not answer, and this came from the principal. She called Tyler's name. He did not answer. I guess she was having a bad day to where she just couldn't handle it, I guess. And she ended up dragging my son by his ear and bringing him to the, what is this on your face? Some candy. Oh my God. Dragging him by the ear and spanking him on his forehead. Um, the principal ended up seeing it. Now, had the principal not seen it, I wouldn't know. Okay? I would wouldn't have known that nothing happened. And it literally broke my heart that somebody would even do that to somebody who can't even communicate or technically can't defend themselves. The lady was 70 years old. Child Protective Services, everybody brushed it off. I'm like, can she at least do a day in jail? It didn't happen. They ended up letting her go from the school system. The news is Fox 13, ABC News, everybody. I reached out to everybody, made my own police reports, everything. So nothing was done, but I don't want my son to be the child that, stopped progressing because his mother, was going through my stuff. And me being my health and my mental health and me being stable was and still is very important. So he is currently enrolled in another school now, but he was out for like 3 months. I couldn't stomach to have nobody else watching him because I feel like I failed him as a mother at the time, and I felt like you okay? I feel like I failed him as a mother. I felt like the school system failed him. I just felt so much failure at that time, and it was heartbreaking to me. that was like one of my lowest mental points. I think, yeah, because you really ain't got nobody at that point. Like the school system done failed you. They letting stuff happen to your child. You can't trust nobody. The job not understanding what's going on. They thinking, you calling out, you making excuses. And one of his IEP meetings, actually was. It's been so much, y'all. I'm just trying. I said I'm gonna get on here and start crying and stuff. Hold on, baby. And I'm keeping that promise. I'm not, but these people sat with me, like on the phone, and were stating. Now, an IEP meeting, if some people don't know, for those who don't know, it's an individualized education plan, which is designed and is supposed to be beneficial for your child to meet their needs so that they could keep progressing. So at this IEP meeting, his teacher ended up saying he was 3. He's 4 now, so that was technically like last year. So he's gonna be 5, yeah. But his teacher was the one that stated, she was like, now before I say that, again, let me tell y'all what happened. So he was throwing tantrums, and he's not bad. Y'all will see him right now, like he's not bad at all. He's acting. He's a child. They ended up saying, hey, he's having a meltdown. He needs the weighted blankets. He needs the helmet. Ain't nobody never told me that my son needed no helmet and no weighted blanket. Like, come on. But me being the parent that don't want to stop his education and everything else and want them to feel safe and also for him to feel safe, I ended up ordering it through his they ended up having me to get his pediatrician to write something up so that it can fit the medical plan so that they can pay for it through the school system, which they did. So these days they having his helmet on so he won't bump his head, even though he used to do all of those things, but there was a reason why.
What?
Children pick up on emotions. I don't care if the child can verbally communicate. They have a language that you can see. Like, you won't be you may hold on, baby. Hold on, okay?
No.
Right. They are for seizure patients and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he's not that type of
Let's go later.
he wanna write letter what? A? He likes to write, he likes to try to read and everything else. And I don't stop him from that either. B, lowercase b, C, lowercase c. But so with the IEP meeting, they were going around, and I'm just listening to everybody say what they have to say. They was like, okay, he's not doing this, he's not eating, he's not this, he's not. Everything was a not, right? So I'm like, okay, so what is it that he is doing? Well, Miss Strong, he has, he just looks us in our face, looks us upside our head and act no, she said he looks us upside our head as if like he crazy, like we crazy, like they're crazy. I'm just sitting on the phone, y'all. This lady just said that my 3-year-old at the time was looking them upside their head like they crazy. Maybe y'all are crazy. That's what I wanted to say. But, and like I said, you can't fight ignorant with ignorant. You got to be the bigger person because it'll make them look silly at the end. I don't want to call nobody stupid, but it'll make them look very silly at the end with them being adults in a place of education that is allegedly supposed to help delayed individuals, because technically that's what that was. So when she stated that, I asked her, I was like, Miss whatever her name was, do you know what autism is? Explain to me your perspective, because in the IEP meetings, all parents have the right to ask questions and everything else like that. So I asked my question, I'm like, do anybody on this phone call know what autism is? Do y'all know the type of person, the individual that y'all are dealing with? They were not able to tell me. So not once, look at him. Not once that was a fail. Come on now, y'all don't even know the type of person y'all dealing with. So in these school systems, it's imperative that they are also educated, because every educator does not know. Right, right, right. He has autism. It's just simple. If they knew what autism was, if they knew
Let's go. Let it
no, what's the next letter? G. If they knew exactly what autism was, we wouldn't have had to have that conversation. So, again, I tried my best to find the schoolings and everything for my son. The Tennessee early intervention ended at 3, and I was left on my own. I was stuck like Chuck Collins for now, and he has progressed tremendously. Tyler went from not talking to talking. He potty trained. He over here writing letters now. Look at him. He writing J. Can y'all see it? J. Write K.
J. Right.
I don't know if y'all can see it.
Yeah.
Now he want my help, but he can do most definitely a lot. And I praise him for everything that he does, because I have found that, and I have also read, and it's just statistics over here in my house, that praise with everything definitely does work. The love and affection that I give my son has worked tremendously. Just not giving up on him, pushing him to his limits, and right, he can do all of that, Haley. He definitely can. Um, it's important that we know that the surroundings that we have our children in, it does matter. Um, that just the communities, the people that they're around. It's just the influence. There's just like, they have so many scientific showing. Look, he writing the letter L down, yeah. I don't know if y'all can see it. I gotta turn my camera around. He asks for my help sometimes. He over here writing it. He the wrote J-E-F-G, helped him with H, J-K-L, and that's M. Good job, baby. What you write next? N. And he's writing the big ones and the little ones, y'all, because that's what we practice. And good job, baby. He amazes me every day. Literally amazes me every day. This child has no limits. That's why it's called Tyler's Way. Everything is going to be regarding Tyler's Way, because the things that I have implemented and the routines that I have put in place for him and myself, having organization, having being prepared, all of that works. And we just need people around that we could just honestly trust. And also educating ourselves. And we know our children better than, we have to understand, we know our children better than the doctors. We know our children better than the teachers. We know our children better than, everybody. We raising them. They're around us every day. And it really ain't nothing that nobody could tell us about our children that we don't know. And we have to be their voices. We have to be their advocates, because we have to let them know what we see that's going on and what we see that's working with them. Because my son, he's not able to tell nobody what's wrong with him. If he's sick, I have to actually know that he's sick. He's not going to say, "Oh, mommy, I'm sick. I'm not feeling good." I have to look at the signs. I have to know my son, and to be able to know. That's how I knew that it was the school with the lady who sat up there and said in the IEP meeting that my son was looking at her upside her head like they were crazy, which Grandma, I got this over here. He gonna learn with a big pencil or a little pencil. But yeah, he be trying though. He be trying. But yeah, we know our children, so we have to be their advocates, and it's just gonna be up. Like from here, I'm not. I can't. There is no. Oh, we gonna wait on. No, we not waiting on nothing. 2022, we taking the action to get our kids the services and doing what needs to be done for our kids. Nothing is gonna hold us back. This year is the year, and I'm gonna make sure that everybody's educated globally, because who know? I never knew about autism until, well, I dated somebody with they had a sibling that had autism, but I did not take the time out to educate myself regarding autism then. It took for me to actually have my son to be able to educate myself about, the situation, but that individual super smart. Nothing is wrong. I don't feel like nothing is wrong with it. I feel like they can reach the impossible, but I'm the type of person I always push myself and others beyond their regular limits. But it also comes with the proper education and actually just knowing what to do, how to do, and just once you educate yourself, there aren't any more limits. But what time is it? I think I'm about to get off. Yeah, I've been on here a little minute, almost an hour. But those were just some of the signs that I knew about my son and that I seen. Um, so let me give y'all a quick little overview of some of the things that I know for sure regarding autism, and I'm gonna try my best to be more organized tomorrow. I just knew I just had to get on here today and just say something because I am so excited for this month. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all a quick little overview, and you can be diagnosed with autism at any age, by the way. um I have been on Clubhouse. That's what I've been on Clubhouse, and there are so many individuals who okay, grandma. um so yeah, there are so many individuals who are adults that are raising children that have autism, and they also have autism themselves. Mama, I already told them you were the one. Mama, I already told them that. But the individuals who have autism, they have children. They have children. They are. I don't like to use the word regular because who determines what's regular, right? But they are what society considers to be normal adults that are functioning. Because, like I said, the spectrum, um, it's 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 a wide spectrum. Like different people, you wouldn't even notice. Just like if you look at my son, you wouldn't just completely notice until you just actually just be around him. Then you could kind of tell, like, okay, he has autism. So I'm going to start with what my mom, again, I'm going to state this, that my mother was the one who told me about, had autism like at 6 months, but how she knew that he did have autism because he was not making eye contact, and he wasn't answering to his name. So by 6 months, they would have like few or no big smiles or other warm, joyful engagement expressions. Limited to no eye contact. That's by 6 months. You will know, like, okay, you may need to get your child checked out. By 9 months, they would have like little or no back and forth sharing of sounds, and Tyler also went through that as well. Smiles or other facial expressions. 12 months, little or no babbling, little or no back and forth gestures, such as pointing, showing, reaching, or waving. No response to name. That's supposed to be about 12 months, but we knew before then, like before 12 months, that that was it. But they don't test the children until they get like 2, normally. But the sooner that you find out, the better. Um, by 16 months, they have very few or no words. By 24, they are doing children. Yes, they are. By 24 months, which is 2, very few or no meaningful 2-word phrases. Tyler is technically now making 2-word. He says more than 2 words sometimes, and he's at his mimicking stage. I'm not sure if everyone knows, but he was considered level H, which is like high functioning, but he still is severely delayed in speech. Um, he does a lot, but also at any age you would be able to tell, because they would have loss of previously acquired speech, babbling or social skills, avoidance of eye contact, persistent preference for solitude. My son also was to himself for a while, but now he is so nice and so friendly. He loves everybody. He was always nice. He just didn't play with people, but he definitely does now. Um, Delayed language development, which Tyler does have. He does have delayed language development, persistent repetition of words or phrases, like they call it the E. coli, or not E. coli, but like an echo something. They call it, and Tyler does that as well. Resistance to minor changes in routine or surroundings. Tyler isn't severely like that, but someone's child may be. Restricted interest. His interests are restricted. Also, one of the major signs you would see is the repetitive behaviors, is like flapping, rocking, and spinning. I call it, it is repetitive behaviors, but I just call it like stemming. Like stemming, you know how like they have them little hand toys that put in the middle of your hand and it just spins to help the children with people in general with ADHD. Yeah, they do stuff like that. And I hate saying they do stuff like that, like it's just a different species or something. But autism is, yeah, the sensory issues. They also have unusual and intense reactions to sounds, smells, taste, textures, lights, and or colors. Most definitely. 4th of July, Tyler can't stand it. It be too loud. Too many colors. It just does something to him. Different sounds. He has sensory issues with sound. So, and the sensory issues can be with anybody. You know how some people are, like, they have a very sensitive nose. Like, they can smell everything. Like, if it's just like a speck or a piece of something, they can smell it a mile away. Almost like a little hound, but for sure. So that, we were talking about that actually in Clubhouse, where overactive and underactive senses.
Yeah.
Okay, we finna write. Hold on, 1 second. I'm almost done, baby. Um, they also have like a modified checklist for children with autism. If anybody needs help getting any resources, just reach out to me. And there are also things in like teens and adults. Yeah, stacking and lining things up is also a sign. That's like the repetitive behaviors and stuff. But that is also a sign. He want to write again, so I'm about to end this so we can finish his alphabet and stuff. But this is just for today. I will be more organized tomorrow. Am I going live tomorrow? I don't know. But I'm gonna try to go at least twice a week. I'm gonna try, but definitely every week I'm gonna go. Yeah, that's it. And say bye bye, Tyler. Tyler, say bye-bye, everybody.
Bye bye, everybody.
Say love you guys.
Love you guys.
Say good night.
Good night.
All right, you guys. Bye. What? All right, y'all. Bye-bye. Let's go. Let's go.